One time.
Hudson pulls up, and there it is.
Atlanta ready to seal the deal.
Great barrier thief. On Trae, what a move!
Will fire one up at the buzzer.
Behind the back.
Wilkins, look out.
Wow!
They come out clean.
Welcome back. No, this is Bird Buggy, man. I'm sorry, man. I am here with Malik Brown. Malik, how you doing?
What's good, y'all? What's going on, bro?
Malik, you got some special guests in the building tonight.
Yes, sir. We live tonight. We potting tonight, y'all.
Yes, sir. I ain't gonna lie. Once we introduce everybody, I might have to go off cam because happy birthday to my nephew. It's my nephew's birthday. I gotta call my nephew. But it's 9:30. It's 9:30, so I gotta call him before he go to sleep, man. But yeah, man. Who we got in the building, Malik?
Today, man. Today we got a Hawks reporter in the building. Soaring down South fan-sided writer. Literally, I feel like every other post this guy posts on Twitter, like it blows up. It's hilarious. But we got our guy Zach in the building. Zach, what's going on?
Yo, what's going on, gentlemen? How are y'all doing?
Good, man. Thanks for coming on, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem at all. I appreciate Malik for reaching out. I appreciate you, Rashad, for having me. A lot going on with the Hawks, a lot going on in the NBA basketball world. So, it's exciting. A lot of stuff to talk about. But appreciate y'all for having me on.
For sure. It's cool to meet you, Zach, and stuff like that formally, virtually and everything. Seeing the new school and seeing where you guys are taking it. Guys like you and David, y'all are like just taking it and running with it. I remember you were the one, you wrote the thing about when Trae going into the season, right? Of like you like having the jersey as a child with the Trae Young jersey and stuff.
Yeah, well, I put that out. It was right after the trade, and I wanted to put out more of like a personal piece when Trae got traded because we all knew Trae was going to get traded, so I'd kind of already started preparing a little bit. But yeah, no. So when Trae got drafted, I bought his jersey like maybe like 10 minutes after. It was like a custom jersey. It was like it wasn't even in the store yet. And I was still like I was a young teenager. And so like, yeah, I had like attached myself to that player and to like the Hawks brand and everything. So like, Trae being the star of this team, like really helped me fall in love with basketball. And so I had just so much insight to share, like when we traded him and what really went on with that. It was the thing that I wanted to capitalize off of. I wanted to get my like 2 cents off. So yeah.
No, that definitely was one of those things that made me feel a bit old. To see someone who was covered.
So many people told me that. They were
like, you're like a literal child in a photo, and I was like, oh, he's old enough to cover the team. Like I was a grown adult when Trae was drafted.
And in that picture, where it's at the Basketball Hall of Fame, and I'm like laid out on the court with like a ball in the Trae jersey. There was someone from the Basketball Hall of Fame who literally worked at the Hall of Fame who commented on it. He was like, dude, that was like, that's a long time ago at the Hoop Hall. He's like, dude, you got to come back.
No, the Hoop, shout out to the Hoop Hall, shout out Massachusetts, man. Shout out, what's buddy name? John, the man who created basketball. I'm blanking right now.
Naismith.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Happy Black History Month, because he probably stole the idea from a black man. Come on now. Hey man, in the building, man. I got my dog, my road dog with me, man. One of the top executives and one of the top Hawks fans I know. It's crazy. He's a Hawks fan now. I remember like as kids, he was a mellow guy. You know how that goes in Atlanta. If you know, you know. Trae in the building. Trae, what's down?
Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for letting me join in, man. I'm a big fan and like you guys' content and known Rashad for a long time, and he's kind of flexing. I always was a mellow guy. You can have a favorite player and a favorite team. I always did like the Hawks, but
All right, here we go.
it was that time of the
All
life.
right, man.
That time where
Okay.
you had to choose between LeBron and Melo. I chose Melo.
It was. I think that was the thing with Trae, right? I mean, it's crazy. We did not plan. The picture of this thing is Jonathan Kuminga. We brought on like Trae wanted to talk about Kuminga and stuff like that. Like this whole thing is supposed to be about Kuminga, and we started it off with Trae. The Trae was like literally for like generations, like Zach and younger. What I'm saying, not to like just son Zach the whole episode, but like kids that are younger, bro. Like you got to know, like in Metro Atlanta, people love the NBA. Kids love the NBA. It's an NBA town. It's an NBA city. The thing is, it's just Atlanta's like all about the flex, all about the flash, all about the stars. And so like kids growing up, they love the NBA, but they love Kobe, LeBron, Melo, individual stars, AI, et cetera, et cetera. So we never had that type of flash with the Hawks. Even when the Hawks got good without Horford and Joe Johnson and they were making the playoffs 10 years in a row, the kids still were like, they not my team. They not my team. They're not my team. So that changed when the Hawks drafted Trae because he was the first flashy superstar that fit the mold of what kids all around the world, all around the country really enjoyed to watch. So that's why I'm like, when people kind of forced Trae out at the end, and I was like, you guys don't know what you have because all you know is Trae. So you guys don't know about having a good team, but nobody's still caring and the game still being empty because they didn't have a flashy type of guy that people who's at. Like, it was like, remember the time period where the Falcons games where the jersey worn the most was like Michael Vick, and Michael Vick was like long gone for 10 years, and Orioles Deion Sanders, and Deion Sanders ain't played for the team in 20 years. That was the Hawks with Dominique Wilkins. It was like the most worn Hawks jersey at a Hawks game or around the city was Dominique Wilkins, and he didn't play for the team since the 90s. It'd been over 20 years. So that all changed when Trae came into the picture. So I'm going to always appreciate Trae for that, bro. And I guess, man, with that being said, should we get into it, Malik?
Let's do it.
All right. Everybody hold your horses, pump your brakes. Because Jock Landale, whatever name, first game, he looked like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Pump your brakes. Everybody want to crown Kuminga as LeBron James. And pump your brakes. Calm down. Calm down, man. But it was exciting. It was exciting. I ain't going to lie to you. And it's funny because it's only the Hawks to where Kuminga get it going. Oh, snap. What's that? Oh, Jalen hurt. Only the Hawks, man. Only the Hawks. You can't have both. You can't have too many good things at once, man. So I guess first things first, man. I'll go one by one. How did everybody feel about the debut of Kuminga?
I mean, I'll start. We were playing the Washington Wizards, so I'm taking it with like a grain of salt. But I mean, it's hard to not be excited about what he showed. I mean, this guy was slashing. This guy looked like a much better defender than what was advertised by people within the Golden State's organization. He was knocking down the three ball. It's funny you mentioned David earlier because I was sitting next to David in media row and Kuminga was 3 for 4 from deep, and I leaned over to him. I was like, "This is so fake." And so I don't necessarily know if it's fake or not, but again, like it's hard to not be excited about his debut. And if the injury report holds true tomorrow against the Wizards, he's probably going to get another big opportunity. And I'm not saying he's going to put up 27 again, but if he keeps that same volume, if he keeps the same on-ball reps that he's gotten his debut, it's like I don't see why he couldn't, So that's kind of where I'm at right now with Kuminga. And so yeah, like and also like there are overreactions to it too. In my YouTube comments, like I've already got people comparing him to Dominique Wilkins. I've gotten like 3 comments on that actually, like that same front where people are like, "This is the next Dominique Wilkins." Like let's and so then I in all my videos at the end I respond to some comments. So I guess like in my next video, I'm gonna kind of address some of that and be like, guys, chill out a little bit. But no, I'm excited.
Okay.
Go ahead, Trey.
Yeah. Yeah, the Dominique thing is wild. I was excited, man. I think it was a good showing. It just felt good to have some excitement. I mean, you kind of led off the show with talking about the deflation of Trae, and kind of how that we've had that cloud for a couple weeks or so. So it was good to have some excitement, man. I mean, I was watching the game, and you could see the arena kind of come alive just by him coming on the court. I think this is a very telling picture that you have up here, because he looked happy playing basketball. And you know, when you're doing something that you love, I think the best is going to come out. And we didn't see that from him in Golden State. But a happy Kuminga could get you 27 points. I don't think he's going to average 27 points, but we see what type of talent he has. I mean, he was a top 10 draft pick for a reason. I do have some doubts on him, because I don't necessarily know what he's great at. You're right. So when you look at him, it's not like he's a great shooter. It's not like he's a great defender, but he's really good at the total game. So with that, I think the challenge is, what can you project that he's going to give you every night? Because it could be 27, it could be 12, right? So, I'd be interested as the conversation goes on is, what should we expect from Jonathan Kuminga night in, night out? But whatever we saw yesterday, if he does that, I like that. Now, I will say one last caveat. Unfortunately for my Cobb County fellows, they were torching Sharif Cooper. They switched Sharif Cooper on Jonathan Kuminga 7 out of 9 possessions that I saw in one quarter. They just kept putting him in the pick and roll, and he put that boy in the blender. I mean, in the torture chamber. So I don't think he's going to have Sharif Cooper guarding him every night. I'm not saying the Street's a bad player, but he can't guard Jonathan Kuminga.
My
Yeah,
dog, go ahead, Malik. My bad.
the one Kuminga, I mean not Kuminga, the one Sharif missed, he was like wide open for a layup, and he like completely smoked it. I said, "Oh my god, this is bad." But enough of Sharif. But before the game, I expected Kuminga to play at least 13 minutes, and I really was not expecting much, honestly. So for him to have 27 in 24 minutes was very, very, very shocking for me. But I think it was also very reassuring that maybe, and it's one game, so you can't, and it was the Wizards, but I'm starting to maybe think that Steve Kerr was the problem. He might be like 65-70% the problem right now as we're speaking after the first game, because like Trae said, you really don't know what Kuminga can do like really, really good. But his first game, he was kind of doing a little bit of everything. I really wasn't expecting him to knock down the 3 ball. Like Zach said, 3 for 4, it may be a little fake. But I mean, they were contested too. It wasn't like he was wide open. But once you get into a groove, I feel like as a basketball player, as an athlete or anything kind of just starts going in. And like you said, he was happy. He was smiling the entire game. I think the most important area where he'll help the Hawks is just in the open lane, like just running. I mean, that's what Quinn wants them to do, is just run. And his first 2 buckets were like a layup and a dunk. So if he can continue to do that and run and rebound and defend, that's really all they need from him. He doesn't really have to take matters into his own hands and try to be the guy. And I'm not expecting him to come in with that mindset, but he doesn't have to do that. He can just play ball. So I like what I saw first game. Was a sample size. Don't want to get too excited, but there were some really good things that he did last night. And like Trae said, you don't know if you're going to get 27 from him. You might get 12 from him. But is that 27 or that 12 is impactful? I think the Hawks are good, and I think he'll fit in right pretty well.
Yeah, man. Shout out to did y'all shout out Sharia Farquharson in the chat? He said they was a Dubs fan for the past 5 years. They've been watching Kuminga the entire career.
Shout out Sharia.
Say that again.
I was saying shout out Sharia.
Oh yeah, for sure. Problem for sure. Look at his past play when Golden State games are out with Steph. Did they mean to say snakes? Because it was that like a double entendre. What y'all feel about this, man? These memes and stuff like that. I feel like I said, like them boys got to be healthy for at least one game first. I mean, I think if anything, I look at last night, and I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I think the whole KP thing, low risk, definitely high reward type of move. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit, that reward you might get with him is just incredible. It's an incredible get for what you gave up. And I mean, KP kind of gave you what KP could give you. And also to keep perspective, you have to remember Porzingis started off with a couple of good games, and they'll look like, oh, Porzingis with Trae, and oh man, this could be a special season. And so now we get the initial performance like Zach was saying against the Wizards, so there's an asterisk there. But I don't know, man. He definitely showed me some stuff with playmaking ability. I knew about the athleticism. I knew about kind of like his scoring ability, but some of the plays that he was making, some of the passes he was making, it was like, all right, that's promising. I guess that's why people are saying him and Jalen Johnson out and everything like that. I don't know. I would like to see how that looks with them on the floor together. Have we given up on Zaccharie Risacher yet? That's like the weekly question.
I don't think it'd be wise to, but a lot of the Hawks fan base is. I mean, the guy's 20 years old. We all know he struggled this season. I mean, like, there's no way to hide it. And also, like, he has shown up on the national stage and like not played well like he did in the Rising Stars game. I'm not out on him. I do think him going to the bench is gonna kind of be a thing that does help him kind of succeed, because I think there were too many high expectations for him entering the year that is kind of unrealistic to like his trajectory. I mean, when we drafted him, we thought 12 to 15 point per game scorer, and we got like 12 last year. We're getting 10 this year. I mean, it's a sophomore slump. I will say one thing that was encouraging, though, is I think ever since he's gone to the bench, I think he's been running more. I think he's been getting out in transition more. You saw it last night with Kuminga. Like, Jonathan Kuminga and Zaccharie Risacher in that first quarter especially were just diming each other up. I mean, it was just back and forth. Like, as soon as one got the rebound, the other one was all the way on the other end of the floor. And they were hitting each other like on fast breaks. It was really good. And I asked Jonathan Kuminga about that yesterday, and he gave me like an in-depth answer of just like how he wants to see Zach succeed and how everyone wants him to succeed and that the team needs him. And again, like a player of Zach's mold, every championship team has a guy like that. Now, obviously not in Zach's current form, but the idea of Zaccharie Risacher at his peak is someone who can be a starter, I would say, on a championship team. It's just a matter of putting it together, in which his second season he hasn't. But everyone has to remember he's 20 years old, and everyone uses that number one pick tag on him. Like, when they're talking about him, they're like, like former number one pick, got benched. Like what does it say about Atlanta's front office? It's like, we have to look at that number one pick status with an asterisk, because he is not just a traditional number one pick. There's little me on the screen. But yeah, no, like, I mean, we have to, like, that 2024 draft class just simply was not a draft class that was worthy of this is not a number one pick any other year. So it's like, we got to look at him like he was like a late first round pick or like a mid first round pick. And if we look at him through that lens, it's like, okay, then he starts to get more of a leash. Then he can get more grace from the fan base. But like, in summary, I think we just need to give him a little bit more freedom to go through his struggles this year. And then maybe he'll be in for a big year 3 if he's even on the roster. So.
I don't like how you ended that saying if he's on the roster. That says a lot about the question that he asked.
Well, okay, so I will say, when I say that, I'm saying like Onzi didn't draft him.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
And it's like, I feel like Onzi's made it very clear, like if you're not a part of his long-term plans, you're out of here. You're gone.
Yeah.
And so that's the only reason I say that. But because you never know. I mean, our GM is probably the most aggressive in basketball right now. So it's like you got to keep your options open, I guess.
Yeah, I would agree with you from a business standpoint. I mean, I know honestly, so like I've interviewed with him. I've actually been offered a job from by Honestly, and he is, from a business standpoint, he is results oriented and driven. That is the model of what um, the expectation that he has. And it is unfair. It's not Zaccharie Risacher's fault that he was drafted number one. It's not his fault. But regardless, I mean, he's in that position. He did get selected, and that does come with expectations. I think the challenge for him is what I see when I see Risacher, I see a guy that doesn't necessarily have a defined role. And that could be his fault, that could be coaching fault, that could be coaching, that could be Quinn. I'll give you an example. I have a good friend, Rashad knows him really well. He plays for the Bulls now. Colin Sexton. Colin, one of our good friends. When I talked to Colin about what his role is, at least when he was in Charlotte before he got drafted, he said that his role is a 7-second guy. And what that means is if the shot clock gets under 10, close to 7, they will pass the ball to Colin, and it's his job to get a bucket with 7 seconds or less. He has 7 seconds or less to get the bucket, and he is the break starter. That was his role, was defined in Utah and Charlotte, from his words. I don't know what Risacher's role is. I mean, we think he's a 3-and-D guy, but is he hitting it consistently? Is he really stopping people consistently? Is he an upgrade from what we had with DeAndre Hunter? I mean, I'm just not seeing. I'm not seeing the path for him. Like, what is his ceiling? Is it Tayshaun Prince? Is it Torian Prince? Right? Like, I'm just not seeing where to go. I think he is a NBA player, and I think he is a 10 to 12 per game scorer. I don't see him getting to that 15, 17, 20, which is what you would expect at that level of a pick. I think my best thing for him, I think, would be to send him down to the G League like we did with Jalen Johnson and let him develop there and find what type of player he wants to be in the NBA. Because I don't see him being your top scorer on any team. I mean, even if you put him on Washington, I don't think he would be the top scorer there. So, or Sacramento, where careers go to die, I don't think he would be the top scorer there. So if you even put him on a worse team, I just don't see it. So I'd be curious to know what you guys see his role is and what is his peak, because I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, I think that's a really good question, because for the past, I mean, his only 2 seasons, of course, he's kind of just been the guy that just gets the open looks because of who's on the floor, and he runs and he gets easy dunks and things like that. And he can defend. He's a long wing, but when you're not making the open shots, and I want to put it on. Of course, he's the player. He has to make the plays, but at the end of the day, I think the coaching has to do a better job as well. I feel as if a lot of times this season, Quinn kind of just takes him out if he does one bad thing, and it's like Zach said, he's 20 years old. You gotta make room for him to kind of make these mistakes. And the Hawks are in this position where, I mean, the past 2 years, they're like, yeah, we're building for the future and we're focusing on the young guys, but we still want to compete. And it's like, okay, this is it's kind of hard to tell what you want to do, because, okay, yeah, you want to develop the young guys, but Zach is a young guy. When he makes a mistake, he gets benched. I don't think that's development. I think that's kind of just like showing that, okay, we really want to win, which I think is why Quinn just made the move of, we finna put CJ in the starting lineup. Granted, statistically, like he's mentioned, they're just better with him with the rest of the 4 guys. But it's obvious they're trying to win games towards this second half of the season and try to make something happen instead of kind of just developing or whatever and letting Zach go out there and kind of do what he does. But I think at some point also his confidence may be kind of just like shot because, I get put out when I make a mistake. Shoot, even when I'm playing good, I still only play 20, 21 minutes. So dang if I do, dang if I don't, you feel me? But at the end of the day, he has to be the guy to go out there and start fast. He has to make the open shots. I don't think he's really given much of an opportunity to do much besides kind of just be a spot up shooter and just run up and down the court because I don't really see him dribble the ball as much. When he dribbles, it's kind of like 2-3 dribbles, pass the ball, and then, he kind of relocates. So I don't know what he specifically needs. I don't know if the G League would be something that could help him. Maybe it does because we've seen it happen for other players. But I don't know. I'm really stuck on, and I do think that bringing him off the bench could help. And playing with somebody like Jonathan, like Zach said, they were just getting up and down the court last night. So maybe that'll help. But, it's kind of just, I feel like they're just trying to figure out, the coaching staff is probably trying to figure out, okay, where does he fit? What are we going to do to kind of help him get a groove or whatever?
Hey, can I ask? I got one question I want to ask.
Go ahead, Trae. Go ahead, Trae.
Yeah, I was going just one question, Malik, just to follow up there. As a tortured Atlanta fan, unfortunately, is Zaccharie Risacher, is he the Atlanta Hawks Kyle Pitts? As in he just continues to leave you wanting more and the expectations because of where he was selected. Is he our Kyle Pitts?
Yes. I think that's a good comparison.
No.
I think it's a good comparison because it's crazy because when Kyle was before he got drafted, he's the unicorn, like he was this special guy. And I don't think Zach was given that type of hype because of just the draft class that he was in. But I mean, if you want to look at it as far as, this guy got drafted high and he had these expectations and he just doesn't live up to them. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's the closest comparison you can get. He might be the Kyle Pitts.
I want to say this to Sharia. Oh Lord, it's Snyder like Kurt. I'm new here. I mean, in terms of Risacher and Risacher's development, 100%. But I think just like with Kuminga, it ain't about to be Kuminga part 2 in Atlanta. Like they traded for him, everything like that. And I think, hold on, I want to say this, but before we go back to Zach, because I know Zach wanted to say something. The reason that Risacher is in this current position is because, like Malik said, they're in this weird space of we want to develop the young guys, but they also want to make a push for the play-in. DeJounte Murray today said, we got to make this play-in push, y'all. We got to make this play-in push. For those of you who don't know, the Pelicans are like 12 games from the 10th spot. And DeAndre Jordan the other night was like this. He was like, yeah, we making a push for the playoffs too. Like, what playoffs are y'all pushing for? What playoffs is y'all pushing for? The playoffs for the imaginary games? What playoffs is y'all pushing for?
I was telling Malik off the camera. I was like before we started this, I was like, I completely forgot that I still had DeJounte Murray's Twitter notifications on. So, like from his time in Atlanta, because I don't know if he just hasn't tweeted in a while or something. But then I look down and it's just like DeJounte Murray just spewing nonsense. I'm reading it. I'm like, does that say play-in? I was like, do we see the Pelicans record right now? Or like what? 17-42 or something.
They are like, I think they won back-to-back games now. So they won on Saturday against the Sixers, and then they won last night over the Warriors. And then they're about to probably win the next two because they got the back-to-back series in Utah, like what you call had. Why should the NBA be competitive if they want to push for the playoff? Then that's the goal. Yeah, you could push for the playoffs. I'm just saying, it's a funny thing to say we're gonna make this push for the play-in when you're not gonna make the like. You know what I'm saying?
Because then when it's like when you get into the play-in, then what?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they made it though. I feel like for them, there's no incentive for them to tank. So I mean, like in that case, I think the Pelicans were the greatest example of why the NBA shouldn't push and promote tanking, because it's like, if you are bad, you will lose. They had no incentive to lose this year, and they've lost a lot just because they're naturally bad. Zion's played 32 games in a row now. They're just not good as a unit, as a team. However, I do think they're probably going to win like 25 to 30 games by the end of the year. They won 17 so far because you have DeJounte coming back. They put Jordan Poole back in the rotation, and then Zion, he's playing probably majority of the rest of the season so he can get all of his money. So, you know, with those things being said, they're probably going to win 25 to 30 games. And then with that, I was looking at it like I was just preparing people. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, y'all was watching Peterson. Y'all was watching AJ. Y'all was watching Caleb. Y'all was watching Acuff. Y'all might have to watch you know what you got. Be thankful. You might have to watch Kuminga. Kuminga might be the closest thing to your number one pick this year, because you ain't getting Peter. Hey, look, the Pelican about to win 30 games. It just is what it is. Them boys winning now. It just is what it is. Yeah. What did he say? So yeah, I mean that just is what it is. Zach, did you want to say something? Anything else?
Yeah, because I will say though, like, you know, you never know how lottery night's gonna go. Hawks got the number one pick in 2024 last year. The Mavs got it, and I'm sure we all have our 2 cents about how the Mavs got it. But you never know. And I will say, shout out to the 2026 draft class, because I feel like any other year I would be completely discouraged by the Pelicans starting to win some games. But it's like, you know, it's not ideal. But if the Hawks end up getting like the 7th or 8th pick, I'm not going to be too mad. Like, there's still like starting quality guards that'll go like 7th or 8th, like guys that, you know, like guys like Keaton Wagler or like a Acuff or like, you know, some of those guys. But yeah, I mean, obviously we spent the majority of the season. Anytime the Hawks lose, we like start looking at like the draft stuff, because it's like, obviously it doesn't matter of us losing because we don't have our pick. But like when there's negative attention towards the Hawks, it's like, then we immediately pivot like, okay, we have the Pelicans pick. So like, yeah, we have spent most of the season like looking at the Petersons and the Debantas and whatnot. But you know, that obviously be the dream. But if that doesn't happen, I think we're still in a pretty decent spot because of the draft class being as stacked as it is.
I don't care if he listened to Rod Wave. I don't care if he a loner. I don't care if he take himself out the game. This is what I did. This is what I did earlier this week. I look back at 2021 where Jalen Johnson dropped out of the season for Duke in January, and everybody called him a quitter. He's not a competitor. He's not legit. This is a red flag for all. He was Jalen Johnson. For those of you like, oh man, the Hawks drafted well. There might be a lot of people who wasn't following college basketball or the NBA draft that season. Jalen Johnson was supposed to be a top 5 pick, and he slid all the way down to the Hawks because of these narratives. Oh, I don't know. He might not do that. He might not do that. What did Jay Williams say the other day? What? We get to draft day, 2020, 2021, whatever year it was, right? And it was like the day of. I think Anthony Edwards actually likes football more than basketball. This might not be. This might be. Can you imagine if the Minnesota Timberwolves passed up on Anthony Edwards with the number 1 pick, and then the Golden State Warriors, we talk about Steve Kerr, Sharia, the Golden State Warriors definitely would have passed on him because you already know the history between him and Kerr. So then he would have went to number 3. He would have went number 3. So it's insane to think about, like in hindsight. I think pre-draft, people just overthink things. They overthink things. This kid is Kobe Bryant, bro. Like, he came in and we did a whole episode about it. I said, stop putting Kobe Bryant on these kids. These kids can't live up to that type of. We got a whole episode about it on the channel. Man, look, I seen that Joker play. I say, hold on, man. he look like Bean, bro. The way he move like Bean. It is what it is. Here, wait, hold on. Let me see if I can find it. Y'all gotta stop with this kid. That's what
That
I
is
named
the
the
funny.
video.
You know what? I forgot we did a whole pod
We
about
did
him.
a whole pod saying y'all have to stop putting these kids talking about. There it is, right here. Y'all have to stop with this kid. 3 months ago, there it is. We did a whole pod on this, but that kid is Kobe Bryant, bro. You don't pass up on Kobe Bryant just because he by himself. But hey, in the end, Atlanta Hawks fans, we are just really just. I mean, I said we. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. I slipped up. I slipped up. My bad. I gotta rewind that. Atlanta Hawks fans, y'all are literally just preventing the inevitable of what's gonna happen in June. Just accept it now. You could accept it today. You could accept it tomorrow. American Risacher is coming to the Atlanta Hawks, and you're gonna like it, buddy. It just is what it is. We talk about, is the current Risacher, is the French Risacher going to get it going? Well, how about we put 2 Risachers on the team? You like Risacher? Here go 2 more. It just is what it is. That's the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah,
Hey,
if that were to happen, I might be covering the Washington Wizards. I don't know. Hey, listen, honestly, like getting a pick like that, like a Risacher guy, like at like 9 or 10, where's he projected now? That's not the worst outcome. I mean, it's just not pick 1, which, Nate Ament probably would have gone number 1 in the 2024 NBA draft class, which is insane to think about, but I digress.
I'm actually a Nate Ament fan, man. I think he's gonna be a good ball player. I mean, he is Risacher 2.0, but I mean, he's not what we need. But I mean, I wouldn't be mad. I think he's gonna come. I think he's gonna be, when it's all said and done, I think he'll still be a top 10 player out of that draft class. I mean, I think I think he has game, he has skill. I watched Kevin Durant's last podcast, and he named 3 people, and Nate Ament was one of them, right? In relation to like, because Kevin Durant really follows youth basketball, and he was talking about like, man, who was on that podcast with him? But it was just a recent one that came out, and he was like, yo, like, who are the 3 people? He said AJ, he said Darren Peterson, and he said Nate Ament. He said those are the 3 that he could see games really translated to the NBA. And if anybody know ball, it's KD. So I've watched a couple of his games. He dropped 28 not too long ago in Knoxville. I mean, the kid can ball. We just need a point guard. I mean, that's kind of just the challenge that we have here. So if we got to pick a point guard, I want the A-Cuff kid. And I have no concerns over Dayton Pearson. I mean, at some point in time, you gotta pass the eye test, man. And the kid is good, man. I mean, he's fluid. I mean, I don't think you guys can tell me if you feel different, man. But I don't think I've seen a basketball player that good from an eye test standpoint. That's like complete, and you could see like, okay, he could be a star in the NBA probably since Kevin Durant on Darren Peterson, And the last thing I'll say this is, everybody was talking about his injury stuff. Kyrie Irving played 3 games. Kyrie Irving's still Kyrie Irving.
That's facts. For some reason, I really want the Hawks. I mean, at this point, the way the Pelicans are playing, and you don't really know what the Bucks are going to do. The chances of the pick being like top 3 are kind of, going away a little bit. Like, of course, the Mavericks got the first pick and we're 39 and 43. Like, okay, that's some voodoo type stuff. But I mean, just numbers wise, lottery wise, it could be out of that. But in the event that they do get a top 3 pick, I am hoping that they don't get the first pick, because that is a lot of pressure. And I would rather them just have the second, or honestly the 3rd pick, where it's like, okay, somebody takes. So the first 2 teams are like, yeah, we can't deal with this Darren Peterson stuff. Like, it's too many red flags or whatever. Okay, so first team takes AJ, second team takes Cam. The Hawks are in a position where it's like, this dude, the best player on the board, honestly. Why not take him? And you explain to everybody, I mean, hey, we looked at our board, and he was the best player remaining out of what we had. We had to take him instead of it kind of just being like they took him with the first pick and then everything blah blah blah. I would rather them take him like second or third. But in the event that Nate Ament has to come to the Hawks, I guess I'll start looking at Nate Ament highlights now. I guess I'll start looking at Tennessee ball because, yeah, man, I'm gonna have to start looking at these 5 to 10 prospect guys now because you just really don't know. And like Rashad said, the Pelicans might end up winning 30 games now since DeJounte's back in. Didn't they start DeAndre Jordan and move Derek Queen to the bench?
Yeah, DJ's in the starting lineup to get
hand.
defense because they don't have defense. Like Derek Queen, he's Jokic on offense and he's Jokic on defense. He does not play defense. I mean, well, he's not quite Jokic on offense either because he's got to learn how to shoot. But playmaking ability wise and stuff like that in size, he's Jokic. So yeah, he doesn't play defense. With that being said, you have him out there don't play defense. Jordan Poole don't play defense. It ends up being the Pelicans. So, Herb Jones can't do it by himself. Zion takes plays off on defense. So now they have kind of pretty much a defensive lineup with DeAndre Jordan, Herb Jones, and hate to say it, I know it's going to trigger a lot of Hawks fans, but DeJounte Murray of like guys who at least give you some type of type of effort defensively.
Is Trae still hurt?
Yeah, Trae's still hurt. He hurt himself right in the game before the All-Star break, and he's still out. So I don't know how much longer he's going to be out. It's weird in New Orleans, like they don't give you updates. Like I remember with DeJounte, like we didn't get updates. It was just like, I think he might come back next month. Ask me next month, and I was like, that's not good. And that's like we haven't spoke to Joe Dumars but twice. We haven't spoke to Troy Weaver at all. Like
some boys hiding.
Yeah, them boys hiding, man. You know what I'm saying? But
see, the Hawks give updates. They just aren't detailed at all. It'll just be like Risacher is going to be reevaluated in 2 more weeks, and then 2 weeks in, and then it'll just be like Risacher is going to be evaluated in 2 more weeks. We're just like, what's going on?
I feel like over the past few weeks, a lot of people, I guess that I've been talking to, are really okay with the idea of Cam Boozer, and I'm not mad at the idea if the Hawks have to pick him.
Malik, I want to say this too. You said you don't want the number 1 pick because it's too much pressure, this or that. Put the foot on the gas, man. Look. This is what I did. This is why I pulled this picture up. Look, the fix is in. Hey, look, hold on. Let me stop. The fix is in. The Hawks did this, so Adam Silver did this. The fix is in. Darren Peterson, you're a Hawk, buddy. It is what it is. If unless Adam Silver switch up this year, the fix is already in. Darren Peterson going to the Hawks. He the number 1 pick. Yeah, I know I said just a second ago, okay, the Pelicans going to win 30 games. They're going to get Nate Ament. I'm flipping. The fix is in. It's already in because they gave up the Iceman. Adam Silver. Look. You give up Zion? No, you give up AD. If you're the Pelicans, you get Zion. You give up Luka. If you're the Mavericks, you get Cooper Flag. You give up Trae Young, you won't get Darren Peterson. It just is what it is. That's how the NBA works. I'm saying you can't play scared. Scared money don't make money, Malik. Scared money don't make money, Malik. We gonna Cam Boozer. Cam Boozer, a great college basketball player. He's gonna get you double-doubles, 10 and 10. Guess what? The Hawks already had that 10 years ago, Al Horford. And I know some people still saying, hang Al Horford jersey up in the Raptors. Do you not remember how he left the franchise? He went to the rival. And then he said, oh, man, I always wanted to play for a franchise with a fan base like this that was passionate. Even if they were down, they came to the games. Even if we were losing, I always wanted to play for a franchise like that. And then the Hawks fans pressed him on Twitter, and they bullied him into buying a half-hearted full-page ad in the AJC. Always love Atlanta. Atlanta will always be. Man, look. Hawks been there, done that with Cam Boozer. His name is Al Horford, and Al Horford's had a Hall of Fame career. Salute to Al Horford. He's an NBA champion, multi-time All-Star. The Dominican, black, he Dominican. Shout out to Al Horford. Do you want that again if you the Hawks? When you have the chance to get Kobe Bryant, put the pedal to the metal. We ain't playing no games no more. We not doing that.
I remember someone mentioned that if there's going to be a year that a team trades the number 1 pick, it's this one, because there's 3 guys at the top, or maybe even 4 if you include Caleb Wilson, that could be worthy of a number 1 selection. So let's say on draft night, the Hawks get the 3rd pick, and then the number 1 pick goes to like the Kings or something. And let's say Darren Peterson is like, I'm not going to play for the Kings. So then he slides at 2. But then let's say that whoever's at 2 is going to take Darren Peterson, and the Hawks really want Darren Peterson. You could see them trade up, or you could see them trade up with whoever's at 1. Like, I feel like this year is probably going to be the year that there's a lot of movement just because of it being a stacked class. And to Rashad's point, we traded Trae Young. Like, I'm not saying that there's something deeper here, but I am saying that, like, the trend is obvious. Like, you can't ignore it. I mean, I'm sorry. But anywhere through 1 through 4, I will be okay with. And I think everyone's forgetting about Caleb Wilson because he is someone who hasn't gotten a lot of the media spotlight that like a Peterson or a Boozer or a DeBonsa have. But this guy's a hometown kid. If this could be another situation where it's like, okay, he can, the NBA script, give this guy like a hometown hero kind of thing, go join a loaded forward room with Johnson and Kuminga. And like, I don't know, I could see that happening too. But I do think, and bringing it back to your point from a while ago, people are completely overlooking Darren Peterson. People are like overreacting to this whole sitting out games thing with Peterson. When he is on the court, I don't know if I've seen a pure scorer like that again since like Kobe. Like, as a guard, I mean, what we're watching is undeniable. I don't know how you can just ignore that. If you're the team with the number 1 pick and you don't take Darren Peterson because of what the national media has told you about, his desire, what he wants to do, like that he's deciding when he's coming in and out of games, it's going to be one of those things that ages really poorly. It's going to be one of those draft night memes where it's like the one from several years back when it was like the Kings took Marvin Bagley, and then next up was Luka Doncic, and it was like it's giving one of those things. And it's like, I'm not saying that like Cam Boozer is going to be like Marvin Bagley. I mean, both were dominant bigs at Duke, but they play completely different. But I don't know. This is a situation where it's like, if you're the Hawks, I'm also kind of concerned about the long-term fit between Jalen Johnson and Cam Boozer. Like, you don't draft for fit at the top of the draft class, but again, then you have to really ask yourself like the question, like, do you think Jalen Johnson and Cam Boozer can be paired long-term? I have said kind of my 2 cents on that in the past, but it's like, I feel like there's a lot of offensive overlap. If you're, Quinn Snyder has not played Jalen Johnson at the 3 like at all this year. And Cam Boozer is not a 5. He would be another undersized big man. He's versatile. He can play make. He can dribble. Like, he can do the stuff that you want out of a modern day big. But we would probably have the same defensive issues we have right now with Onyeka Okongwu. So it's like, if you're at the top of the draft class, in summary, just take Darren Peterson. Like, stop overthinking it. Like, it's not a thing where it's like the national media has painted this guy in such an unfair picture. Just take Darren Peterson.
Yeah. I think Zach has some really good points there. I think that I would challenge you on this part, that if Boozer isn't a good fit, then Caleb Wilson wouldn't be a good fit. I'm a Tar Heel fan. I love Caleb Wilson, but I just don't. If we're speaking fit, for me, I see Jalen Johnson again, right? Like, that's the type of player that I see him as. And with where we're at today, you're gonna have 2 Jalen Johnsons, a Kuminga, a Risacher, Dyson Daniels, and a Nickeil Alexander-Walker. What does that 5 even look like, right? Like, does Dyson go to the bench? Is Kuminga on the bench, right? Like, from a fit standpoint, it would be great to have 2 Jalen Johnsons. And I definitely, if Wilson's there, then you take Wilson's, right? If you're not at 1 and the other 3 are gone. But Boozer may actually fit better than Wilson for the Hawks. I think Caleb Wilson is a better player, but I think Boozer would be a better fit because the Hawks. I think Al Horford was a good comparison, but I also would say that one thing that the Hawks haven't had since. I mean, you can say Paul Millsap is somebody that you can give the ball to in a post and can get a post bucket. And Boozer can do that. I mean, Boozer can do that. You can actually, you can actually run a play to the post. When the last time you seen the Hawks run a play to a actual post big man and then we actually make plays? Like, I mean, it's probably Paul Millsap if we're being legit, right? So, that's kind of where I feel on that. I think that, Peterson's the can't miss. I like the Bonza as well. I think he if we're doing comparisons, if Peterson is Bryant, I see DeBonza is probably Andrew Wiggins. I'm gonna go with you on the Boozer and Al Horford, and then I see Jalen Johnson with Caleb Wilson. So I mean, I don't think you can miss with any of those four. It's just about what your team needs and what you want those gentlemen to be.
I know a lot of people have compared Caleb Wilson to KG. You know what I'm saying? My question, I brought up the pitcher earlier. What happens with this kid? Is he just the odd man out if you get one of those guys? Like, because if you get a Caleb Wilson or a Cam Boozer, I feel like he's kind of pushed out of the equation. How do you feel about Asa Newell?
I mean, the guy's he was picked 21st. I mean, you're looking at a really solid backup 4 long term. I don't think there's any problem with that. They've tried to run him in a lot of center action this year, like definitely more than they should have because those minutes have been really bad. But when he's playing the 4 and when he is, when he's shooting the ball like with high volume, like this is a guy who's really impactful. And so he will often get overlooked in like the sense of Hawks fans, like talking about the future and even just us, like we didn't talk about him. But this is a guy like you can't forget about him because he is a guy who is he's like a perfect modern day versatile, like front court guy. He has a handle. I mean, he showed that a lot more in college than he has in his rookie year. And I do think the time that he is spending with the Skyhawks right now is going to be crucial for him. I mean, the Skyhawks have developed like crazy. I mean, they have produced so many quality rotation players, and they stars like a Jalen Johnson. But yeah, like Asa can be a guy who is a valuable rotation player, whether he's starting or whether. And so then when you have a thing where it's like long term, he's your backup 4. You can if Atlanta's an injury-prone team. We're always going to be an injury-prone organization. Jalen Johnson is not going to stay healthy for 82 games every season. You can throw him in at the 4. You can throw him in at the 5 if we get really desperate. I think these minutes at center that he's gotten this season, while they have been bad, they will be crucial. A few years later. If you go through these bad times on the court to get better, especially as a rookie who was drafted after his freshman season. So. I value Asa. I think there's a lot of potential there, but you do have to be realistic about his role, especially in a forward heavy class that is coming up this year.
Hey, Asa Newell, Mo Gay. If Cam Boozer or Caleb Wilson get drafted, ni hao. It's that time. Ni hao. So hey, it is what it is, man. Look, come on, man. Hey, Sharia Farkason said, I was gonna say y'all need a big man. What happens when y'all face the West? Y'all need some size. Pause. I mean, there's no Wemby in the draft, so that's still gonna be a problem regardless who they take. There ain't no Wemby in the draft. I don't know when the next one of them jokers come around. It just is what it is. You're just gonna have to lose that battle twice a year, and 4 times if you see them in the finals. It just is what it is. I want to start researching past games. Who plays 5? Who plays 5 right now is Onyeka. Double O. He plays 5 right now.
That's what they genuinely. This team needs a point guard.
I think you're on mute. Maybe I just can't hear him.
Wait, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
My bad.
I was saying, I think generally this team needs a center and a point guard. Like if you're talking about after this season, I mean they need a point guard now, and they're working with Jock Landale and Koloko and Onyeka right now. But you can upgrade at center this offseason. I don't know how you do it, but I know folks are talking about Hardenstein possibly. But you definitely need a point guard because right now, I think there are a lot of misfits or people playing positions they really probably were not expecting to play this season. Like we just talked about Asa playing the 5, and he's really a 4. I think Mo has probably played some center. Dyson's playing point guard, and Nikhil is dang near playing point guard at times. Like, these guys weren't expecting to do all of this at the beginning of the season. And granted, I mean, they're doing the best with what they can, but yeah, you need a point guard. you generally need a point guard because they don't have a legit point guard on the team. CJ's dang near playing point guard now. And CJ is like a combo guard, I would have feel. So
Gabe Vincent.
Oh my God.
Gabe Vincent. I'm so concerned with how much Quinn Snyder loves Gabe Vincent.
Yeah.
Like, and Malik, you've been there. Like post game, like he will go out of his way to mention Gabe Vincent every single night. No one will ask him about Gabe Vincent. He will bring him up.
Cannot be playing over Buddy Hield. And I know they say, defense. Like, bro, no, bro. Hey, shout out to True with the most legendary, iconic line of this podcast in the history. True, I wish you would come back on the pod at some point. Hey, Solomon Hill, salute to your defense and whatnot. Buddy does not need to be he's the worst player in the NBA. Lakers fans were like, please, can we play Bronny over Gabe Vincent? Lakers fans were begging to play Bronny James Jr. over Gabe Vincent, bro. He's the worst player in the league. He don't need to be seen on court. The same way that D'Angelo Russell's treating the Washington Wizards, that should have been Gabe Vincent with the Hawks. You know why Gabe Vincent didn't do that with the Hawks? Because he knew if he got cut, he won't go get another job. That was it. It ain't 2021 no more. It's over. His Linsanity run is over. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it was necessarily a Linsanity run. I mean, you know, he had like maybe, you know, a few like quality games. Like as a member of the Heat, like I have a buddy who's a big time Lakers fan. And yeah, like when we made that trade, it was just like a thing where he was like, what the hell are y'all doing? Like I tried to explain the whole like second round pick, whole trade exception thing. But like, if you're looking at player for player, yeah, we got fleeced in that one. But you know, I feel like that is probably like Onzi's first real miss because like I would, you know, then you would argue like the trade and you know, whatnot. But it's like, obviously we weren't going to get any value out of Trae and he didn't fit in with what we were wanting going forward. But yeah, and honestly, like I can't lie, like last night, Gabe Vincent was actually pretty solid. I mean, I actually kind of like the minutes out of him. Now, if he is a member of our rotation every night, we are not going to be a good team. I mean, there's literally no other way to put it. He's a valuable player in a certain role, and that role is like a garbage time player. So, but no, hey, Buddy Hield. I've always been a big fan of Buddy Hield. Even if he's probably not a very impactful player in 2026, I don't know why. It's just been like a bit like I remember his season at Oklahoma, and that was like one of the most exciting, like his final season at Oklahoma. Like I was super excited about that. I followed Buddy Hield throughout the league for a little while, just keeping up with him. And so like him landing on the Hawks, like it is like kind of special to me, but like this guy, he didn't even, when we were up 30 yesterday on the Wizards, he didn't even play in garbage time. Like he literally was the 6-man section who's like right under media row. They're chanting, "We want Buddy." And they didn't even put like Quinn didn't even look his way. So I was like, I don't really know. I guess this is just a thing where like Buddy's just, he's going to get cut in the offseason, or I don't remember if he has like an option or anything, but I highly doubt that they bring him back because like they won't play him. Like he's not going to play over Gabe Vincent, especially because Quinn Snyder loves Gabe Vincent.
I think he does have an option, player option.
I think it's like if he gets cut, it only is like $3 million off their worth the cap sheet or something like that. So if they cut him, it's not a huge loss.
I think he should be played, bro. Like, but you know what the Hawks really need to do if they need a point guard and a center? I think they should talk to Washington Wizards. They should talk to the Golden State Warriors, and they should try to get Trae Young and Kristaps Porzingis. Now, hear me out. Okay, so Trae Young, he feels the need. They need a point guard, right? Okay, you get Trae Young. He had a couple all seasons. He coming back from injury. I don't really think he's as hurt as they're playing. Because I think they're trying to tank. They're trying to get AJ. 200K. Kristaps Porzingis, yeah, he has injury history. But if you can get him healthy enough at the right time of the year, just a couple of years ago, this guy, a lot of people forget, him and Al Horford, that was the front court for the Boston Celtics to win the championship. I think if you get those two guys on your roster, you fill both needs, a point guard and center, and I think the Hawks are well on their way. Now, with that being said, we want to go to next week's schedule. And next week's schedule so far at the time of recording this, you got the second of the Trae Young series that Trae Young's not participating in. He's just crying from the bench about. And shout out to Trae too, by the way. That's my dog, man. I cried the night that Trae was traded. And boy, like I got emotional. I was holding back tears just watching him hold back tears yesterday and seeing Harry the Hawk dap him up. That was pretty funny to me. That was a great. Atlanta did a great job in terms of the fans of giving him a standing ovation, and not just some like sitting down and some fans standing up. The whole arena, from what it looked like on TV, it looked like the whole arena stood up for him, which is what Trae deserves. So salute to the second greatest player in franchise history, Trae Young, man. With that being said, Wizards probably going to lose again tomorrow. Okay, all right. So now you go to Sunday. Trailblazers, that's in Atlanta, yeah, because they just played in Portland. And then Milwaukee at Milwaukee. And then we'll probably be back before the Saturday game. So we'll just do these three games. There's no reason why the Hawks should not go 3-0 in this stretch. How are you guys feeling?
Well, first of all, yes, you're right. Like, we should go 3-0. But the Trailblazers, first of all, we're not going to go 3-0. First of all, just the reality of it. And we're probably going to lose those. I'm not saying, actually, I don't want to say we're probably going to lose to the Trailblazers because, it's a home game. It's different. But the Trailblazers, the last time we played them this season, I mean, they just start to finish it was rough. And they didn't even have Denny Avdia either. So that was a Blazers team without the guy who literally is running their entire offense. So yeah, that could be a loss. And also we're back on the road after 5 games at home. We're back on the road against the Bucks. Who knows how we're going to play right after traveling. Then we got to go back home and play another Sixers team, which, we are 3-0 against the Sixers this season. So, can you beat a team 4 times? A team as talented as the Sixers? I don't know. So looking at the teams just schedule-wise, just record-wise and talent-wise, we should win these next 3. We should win these next 4 or 5 or 6. We should go on a winning streak theoretically. It's just I've been doing this for long enough to where I know we will not. So,
yeah, I guess I think the real question is how long are we playing without Jalen Johnson? If for these next 3 to 6 games, because they're all are winnable games. I'm with you, Zach. I mean, the one that sticks out to me is not the Sixers, not the Mavericks, but the Trailblazers. I mean, that Trailblazer team, when they want to play, they can play. And I think that their lineup is a really good matchup for the Hawks lineup. Like, they have lengthy wings, they have fast guards. I mean, I can't remember if Klingon is back or maybe he's still hurt or not, but they have a big, they're the prototypical Hawk killer from a lineup standpoint. Do they, do they always play to that level? No, but from a lineup standpoint, I mean, that is a team that we would have, a really, really tough time with. I mean, I think they had built their team really, really well. You also got to take in the fact that, Scoot Henderson, I mean, we don't really talk about him a lot, but he's a hometown kid. Is he going to, come home and want to put on a show, right? So, that's another guy that you got to take into account if he's playing, so, I mean, out of all those games, man, I mean, that the Blazers the one that really scares me. And then how many games are we gonna go without Jalen Johnson? It is it a win if we go 3-3 these next 3 games? I mean these next 6 games? Does that get us any closer or any farther? So nah, but that Blazers one's the biggest one for me that is the worry. So
Yeah, Blazers too. I generally don't remember the last time the Hawks didn't beat them at all last year. I remember. I think the game they played in Portland, the Hawks were like winning by a lot, and then the Blazers came back and won. And then the game at home, I think Donovan Clingan went crazy or something. And then of course this time they played them at Portland this season, they didn't win. So they always do seem to give the Hawks problems. So that is the one game I would not be surprised they lose. So I do think they beat the Wizards tomorrow. I think they lose to the Blazers. And who's the next game? The Sixers?
It was the Bucks.
Bucks. They'll beat the Bucks this time.
Yeah, I'm gonna stand on 3-0. I think they finally beat Portland. I don't know why. It's just Portland just not that good. So it's no deep reason. Portland just Hawks got to win some games. I mean, if you want to show up your spot in the play-in in the Atlanta Hawks annual invitational, you need to win some games.
Bro, look at I know we just did the first 3 games, but just look at that is an easy schedule.
Yeah, they should probably like not lose a game until
literally
March.
Yeah, I was complaining a lot about how the schedule was going for a lot of the year, but because the Hawks schedule up to until the All-Star break was one of the hardest in the league. And so I was like, why is this happening? Why us? And now I'm looking at it from the rest of the season. It's like, wait a second. Like we got a chance to like maybe make some noise if it all comes together at the right time, which it's just a matter of if it will or not.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Hawks shouldn't lose a game for like nearly the next month. Unfortunately, that's probably not what's going to happen, like what Zach said. But I mean, hey, it is. Yeah, this is crazy. This is really crazy. I mean, you have Boston a couple times, and then you have Cleveland a couple times at the end, and then Miami final regular season. You might play Miami back-to-back games. You got Pistons, Detroit again,
New York.
Detroit got that number. Where you see New York? Oh, right there. Okay, I see.
The end look tough.
Yeah. I ain't gonna lie. I tried to play it off. But yeah, anything from March 20th on, kind of, I ain't gonna hold it. I mean, you have the DeAndre Hunter homecoming.
Oh no, he's done.
Yeah, they shut him down for the season.
Yeah, he got eye surgery.
Yeah,
whatever that is.
So yeah, man. So you have the Kevin Huerter return though. Kevin Huerter homecoming. Oh no, that's in Detroit. Never mind.
Also, we're not even talking about how that game against the Blazers is going to be the return of Vit Krejci. He'll get a tribute video.
Oh yeah. We literally a joke was literally made. Shout out to Chase. Chase made a joke. He was like, "What's next? A Vit Krejci tribute?" And then a couple weeks later,
we better not.
I feel like
Terrence Mann got a picture on Sunday.
Who?
Terrence Mann. He got a picture.
Oh, Terrence Mann. Oh yeah, V might get a video.
Everyone who ever comes through the organization gets a tribute, whether it's a video or a picture. Is how much they did. Veet's getting a video. I promise you.
Oh
Veet's getting a video.
Yeah.
If Terrence Mann got a picture, Veet's getting a video.
Oh yeah, for sure. Veet got that one highlight.
I'm about to say, they're gonna have that preseason. That's not even a real game.
No, that's the craziest pass I've ever seen.
They don't even play the Risacher between the legs in the preseason highlight. When they slander Risacher, but every time you want to bring up Vit Krejci, you want to bring up that preseason. Man, come on, bro. Hey man, a great episode, great pod with the boys, man. Zach, hey. Congrats, I appreciate you stopping by.
No doubt. I appreciate y'all for having me. This has been fun.
It's always love when Trae stopped by as well, man.
And thanks for the time, fellas. Glad to be a part of it.
Yes, sir. And shout out to the chat. Shout out to Sharia Farkason. Oh, that's nice. Golden State Warriors didn't give a dang about Dennis Schroeder.
Dennis Schroeder.
Shout out Dennis, man. Dennis gonna play for all. Where he at? 13?
He's at
Lambo
12 right now.
on him.
He got 17? 17 more? Y'all think he could
can
do
do
it?
it. Like if you give him, because he gets traded 4 times a year. So if you give him like if you give him like 3-4 more years, like maybe he hits it. I don't know. Give him 5 more years in the NBA. He's hitting all 30.
His real estate portfolio got to be crazy right now.
Facts. What his credit look like?
Yeah, you can't get houses, bro. Like he had to probably stop getting houses. Like after the Lakers, the second time going to the Lakers, it's like stop getting houses, bro. Just get
And
he got that massive contract from the Lakers that one time, like several years back.
When he bet on himself.
Yeah. It was like what? It was like 4 years, like $100 million or something. He declined it, and then he ended up signing a minimum with whatever team he was with next.
Was it the Celtics?
Yeah, it was the Celtics. It was the Celtics.
The crazy thing is, like, he started off like what 5-6 years, like a long time with the Hawks. Like he was on the Hawks for a minute.
First round
and then
draft
it
pick.
was like that's hey look that's what we said. We said a couple episodes, didn't we, Malik? It said you be with the team you were drafted by that first trade. Like, yeah, Kevin Herter take it personally every time he faced the Hawks. They traded him once. Now he go bing, 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 bing.
Can I get a Cam Reddish tribute video? Can we get a Cam Reddish tribute video?
That's already happened.
Dang.
We already got the Cam Reddish.
Nah, shout out to Cam, man. His people live across the street from me, man. Shout out to the
That's
Reddish.
real.
Good people.
That's
real.
real.
You know, the one person that dodged everything was Torian Prince. He dodged.
He got out right before.
He got with Milwaukee, and he just hid on the bench in Milwaukee. I'm like, how did he do this? He finessed the system. Salute to Torian Prince. He ain't had to move every summer. He's still in the league. Shout out to Brumby. Hey, Brumby, keep your head up. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
happy Black History Month, DeAndre Brumby. You know what I'm saying? Keep fighting, my brother. Who else we got?
You gotta get a list of like the guys that just like are collecting checks.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jordan
what's the
Prince
buddy
is
that
definitely
everybody's scared of that can fight like super good, play with Jeff Teague?
Tobias Harris is crazy.
No, not Tobias Harris. No, he played with Jeff Teague at Wake Forest. I think he's on Milwaukee.
Fareed Aminu?
James Johnson.
Last name Johnson.
James Johnson, yeah.
James Johnson.
Oh, yeah, he crazy.
James Johnson.
Karate. Shout out
He's
Ivan
like on year
Johnson.
12.
Shout out Ivan Johnson, for shoulder dog. The original. You wouldn't even call him Hawaiian because he wasn't young. He was old when he was on the Hawks. He's like a 28-year-old rookie with golds in his mouth and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the NBA don't make it like that no more.
Cody Zeller.
Oh, collecting checks Hall of Fame.
That was Chandler Parsons towards the end of his career. He was on like that $25 million contract with the Hawks.
Luau Deng.
I remember they got in trouble for posting that picture. It was Chandler Parsons and Evan Turner, and they were like the bag boys. And then I wanted to do a story on them. So I was in town. I was living in Mississippi at the time, but I was in town because it was Christmas time. So like I waited at the practice facility at Emory for like 2 hours, and Chandler didn't want to do it. He went home, but Evan Turner literally just waited for me to leave. And so I was just waiting for 2 hours. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to head out. And he's like, oh, you going to head out? I was like, yeah, I'm going to head back to Mississippi. He said, all right, bro. So I dapped up, the PR guy at the time. And then I went in my car. I go to the red light. Who's at the red light next to me? Evan Turner. And his, it's all pitch black. All NBA players, they ride pitch black. But I knew it was him because the license plate was Oregon. And he last played for the Trailblazers. So I was like, dang, Evan Turner is literally just waiting for me to leave. Shout out Evan Turner. Hey, new Concrete Volume 2 on the way too. Shout out
yes,
Yachty.
sir. It's us.
Hey, but hey, Carefree though. That's what we use into that real music. Shout out Caribou, man. Hey, is that it? Is that it for everybody? Well, hold on. How can the people follow Zach? Trey, if anything you want to plug as well, let the people know.
Yeah, everyone. So Twitter, Zach Langley NBA, YouTube, Hawks Latest. Write for soaringdownsouth.com. It's a fan-sided affiliate. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I also have a Patreon. if you want to become a member of that, I would definitely recommend it. I got lots of cool, exciting content coming. And so, yeah, I'd appreciate if anyone could sub or follow or whatnot.
Yeah, not really big on social media, but big in the business world. So feel free to follow me on LinkedIn. I also do AI automations for small businesses, working at Microsoft. So that's where you can find me, Trae Young.
Y'all know as always, Malik_ATL, Twitter and Instagram. And if you want to find me on YouTube, type in Malik Brown GSU and I will come up.
Wait, hold on. Where you go, Malik?
Oh, there I go. No. On the first video. There we go.
I said, dang, they got my boy Malik out of here, bro. You can't even search Malik Brown GSU no more. They got all your highlights. You still got all your highlights for here. Dang, that's crazy. That was a throwback. Almost 8 years ago. How does that make you feel? You feel old?
Old, bro.
8 years ago doing college stories.
Man.
All right, man. We're going to get out of here. We're going to let y'all enjoy y'all's night. So I appreciate all y'all boys, man. Hey, appreciate the chat. Sharia Farquharson. Everybody holding it down as well. We'll see y'all next week. Birds and Buckets. Peace.
What a time.
Hudson pulls up, and there it is.
Atlanta ready to seal the deal.
Great barrier thief. Trae, what a move.
Will fire one up at the buzzer.
Behind the back.
Wilkins, look out.
Wow.
And if they come out clean.